Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th video on the Indian ethos and management. In this video, we are going to look at the role of the manager, the Indian perspective on leadership. In that, first of all, we'll be looking at the managerial role in the Indian thought. Then we'll also be looking at the concept of manager as a guru. And finally, the dharma test. So let us first of all look at the managerial role as per the Indian philosophy. So, according to the Indian philosophy, management is not just viewed as a purely technical or mechanical function in the sense like manager is not merely a controller of resources, or he is not just concerned with planning, organizing, directing, and staffing, but he has a role beyond even that. Okay, so a manager is seen as the custodian of people, values, and organizational purpose. Uh, Indian thought emphasizes that the leadership or a leader should not only be just efficient but also be morally and ethically right. So, a manager is expected to balance organizational objective with human well being and societal responsibility. So, this holistic view uh, is trying to harmonize between the profit, people, and the purpose. So, the key message here is that a manager is a leader. He is a leader, but he is also a guide and should be a moral example. Right. And the core idea here is manager is a moral responsibility, or a management is a moral responsibility, not just an administrative function. So let us look at the manager as a mentor, or a guru concept. So we all know that the Indian philosophy or the Indian tradition places great emphasis on the guru-shishya relationship, right? We all have heard of Mata, Pita, Guru, and Devam, wherein the guru's place is even before the god, right? In a sense, the reason why it is said so is it is not only just the your parents, the father or the mother, but also the guru who leads you to the enlightenment, or who teaches you, or who shows you the path towards enlightenment, or to attain to reach God, right? So similarly, a guru does not merely impart technical knowledge, but he also shapes up the character, discipline, and the values of a learner. Similarly, a manager in an Indian context is not just a mentor who guides the subordinates to attain the organizational objective, but he should also be a person who helps them in their professional as well as the personal growth. So the manager provides direction, shares wisdom, which he has gained through years of experience, and also acts as a role model for ethical behavior. So the core idea here is a manager teaches, guides, and inspires, not merely supervises. So a manager develops people, not just processes. So we know how important the people, the relationship between the organization and people are in the Indian concept. We have already discussed that in the previous videos, right? So we have also discussed about this concept called Parivar concept, wherein employees are not just contractual relationship between employer and employee, but every member of the organization acts like it is his or her own family, right? So that is the kind of relationship that manager and subordinate should also have according to the Indian concept. Now, mentorship and employee development. So, according to the Indian philosophy, mentorship should focus on holistic development. So, as I already told you, that a manager should not only just focus on getting things done, but should also be focusing on the personal as well as the professional growth of his employee. So, it helps in developing the intellectual, emotional, and ethical behavior of an employee. So, in this, manager actually when adopts an mentorship kind of an approach, the employee will feel more respected and supported. So this approach actually fosters loyalty and long-term commitment for the employee towards the organization. So then the employee becomes more engaged, confident, and responsible. In such situations, the organizations will also benefit from lower attrition higher productivity, and positive work culture, which is rooted in mutual respect. So the core idea here is mentoring managers build people before building performances. So which is very true, because when and we have already discussed in one of the previous videos that when an employee feels satisfied within himself or the inner self is happy, then naturally it enhances your productivity. So you have a very congenial environment wherein you have when you have a very positive environment wherein you can give in your best. So then that enhances the performance of the employee, which in turn enhances the performance of the entire organization. Now let us look at the importance of ethical decision making in Indian philosophy or the Indian ethos. Right? We have already discussed about dharma or the righteousness concept, which is upheld in a very important manner in the Indian philosophy. So, ethical decision making, I would say that it is a core of the Indian philosophy towards management. So, dharma requires managers to evaluate decisions not only based on the outcome but also the intentions and the methods. So, which means that unlike purely profit driven or rule based philosophy, Indian ethos emphasizes on consciousness and moral responsibility. So the managers are expected to uphold fairness, justice, and transparency in challenging situations or even in challenging situations. So it says that right decisions are not important, are not just important, or rather it is not, it shouldn't be convenient decisions, but that is, it should be guided by uh, ethical concept rather than convenience or by pressure. So there is a simple test called the Dharma test, which is a very powerful ethical tool which is followed in the Indian philosophy, which is as simple as a manager asking a question: is this action right for all the stakeholders? Which means that we have already discussed that Indian philosophy focuses on all the stakeholders, or it ensures that all the stakeholders are satisfied. So the manager, before taking any decision, should ensure that or should ask a question to himself that whether this decision is satisfactory or which will be suitable for all the stakeholders concerned, which means it includes employees, the customers, shareholders, society, and the environment. So, this question or this test actually prevents unethical shortcuts and promotes balanced decision making. So, it ensures that business success does not come at the cost of human dignity or the societal well being. So let us look at the takeaways, the managerial takeaways from the Indian model of leadership. So it mainly emphasizes leadership through mentorship and ethics. A manager who acts as a guru and who follows dharma creates a culture of trust, responsibility, and sustainability. So such leadership strengthens employee morale, enhances organizational reputation, and ensures long-term success. Indian ethos thus offers a timeless and priceless practical framework for effective and ethical management. So, with that, we have come to the end of another episode or another video on Indian ethos and management. We'll see you with more concepts like this in the future videos. Thank you.